I grew up in a family of 5. I had a brother and a sister, and we were loud and boisterous, and growing up in our house was a lot of fun. And it was the kind of environment where we fought a lot, we wrestled a lot, but we did it in a way where we knew we really loved each other, and we had a huge support network behind us. And that's something that I've tried to create with my kids. And my parents, one of the things that they did for me, I really value that they did for us, is they tried to make our home a place where we could bring our hard questions, we could bring all of our kind of dreams that we wanted for our lives. And they always told us nothing was impossible if you worked hard, if you had a plan, if you were diligent about it. And that influence has really impacted how I think about raising our kids. As I was growing up, we lived about 15 minutes from my grandparents. And when I look back at the influence that they had on me, it was really profound. My grandfather was a Presbyterian minister, and I remember going to church on Sundays and watching him get up and deliver a sermon, and I was so proud of the way he did that, and really was attracted to the way that he would present his ideas. But what I loved about it was then I got to come home with him afterwards. And he was the kind of person that really encouraged my questions. He encouraged me to think about some of life's big issues. And having somebody who will sit next to you, who will walk alongside you in that journey is just invaluable. So right now, my wife and I have 3 children under the age of 6. We have a son and 2 daughters, and life is crazy, but life is wonderful. And I think a lot of people will recognize when they read 5 Simple Things that there's a kind of frantic nature to it as well, because life right now, just like anybody else who has 3 kids under 6, is crazy. And coming up with a tool that will really quickly allow me to think about what's important, to get a list done. I mean, if you're like me, at the end of the day, it's very difficult to look back and say, I've got even a spare minute to do anything. And I think that's just the nature of being at this stage of life. So when I think about 5 Simple Things, I'm hoping that there are a lot of young parents like us that are going through the same things that will hopefully find some respite in this book. And thinking about all the things that I've got to get done in a day, all the hats I have to wear, at work, and other things I'm involved in, and then when I get home. I'm so glad that I've got those 3 kids there, though, that I come home to every day, because having those little ones who, no matter what I've encountered throughout the day, I know they are going to be glad to see me. I know they are going to stand with me no matter what I've encountered. That is so reassuring. I want to leave my kids a sense for what I stand for and what's important for me. And the only way that I can do that is by being present in their lives and by being very intentional about the kinds of things that I do every day. I want them to know what was important to me. As a small business person, one of the things that I've realized is you've got to be very creative about getting things done. And there are lots of hats you have to wear, and there are lots of roles that you have to play all at the same time. And so for me, when I look back at the experience that I've had in running a company, I've started to see that a lot of those principles are ones that apply to every aspect of life. Because in the same way, when you start to take yourself out of work, you've got to get more done than you have time to do. You've got to get more done with less resources than you have. So what I want to do is to figure out, are there things that I've learned in my business life, are there things that I can apply, and then take some of those best practices and share them with others. At the same time, I want to hear from other people who have more experience than I do about those kinds of things. I hope that Porch Step will be a place where people can do that.